framework for marine hospitality design. Given the panel discussion this morning about air travel across the continent, I'm curious what the panel's interest or opinion might be on how these hotels that we've been discussing blend with air travel. I'm thinking in terms of airport hotels, or if you open new routes, what are the kind of hotels you should be opening? And another part of that question is, does that apply to tier 2 cities more than, say, gateway cities?
Well, I think that in itself is another argument for targeting the locals, because yes, Africa's airlift is one of Africa's biggest challenges. But please, let's have a more educated comment perhaps from Mr. Cooper.
I don't know about educated. I think your question and your point is very well made. The correlation between travel, and hotels is clear cut. And we know from all over Europe, as it started in the United States, low-cost carriers encourage more travel encourages more hotel use. Low-cost carriers and more travel also mean a higher demand for mid-market product, because the very high end of that industry is already traveling, whether in their limited airlines or their private jets, but the answer is the same. I think there is a big correlation, and I think, if I can make the further point, one of the biggest requirements that's got to happen on this continent is a much greater ease of travel intra-Africa. It's fine if you want to go from Johannesburg to Nairobi, you've got 3 or 4 flights a day, although it's expensive. By European standards, incredibly expensive. Try crisscrossing Africa west to east or up and down the west coast. It's a nightmare, and we all know it. Half the time you're not sure if you should drive it, walk it, or fly it. And if you fly it, you often have to go backwards in order to get forward to get to the next country. These are big problems that need to be resolved. But when resolved, and with open skies brought in, and that's the other big issue here, then the need for mid-market hotels becomes all the greater, in my view. And yes, by the way, secondary cities as much as gateway cities.
You may want to look at some office in the real Africa. I mean, Nairobi is not that bad in terms of travel, though.
Agreed.